After some goading from Tulok, the creature in the torture room acts in aggression. The chains and manacles throughout the room suddenly animated, and nowhere was safe to stand. After trading blows and Tulok's clever blinding of the Velstrak through magic, Lady Gilda put it down with a non-lethal blow. But Tulok had none of it, and dealt a killing blow anyway. Turmoil sparked between the two over the controversial act, but they were able to set aside their differences for the sake of their mission. For the time being, anyway. Pressing forward, the heroes return to the underside of the pavilion and head south behind the mushroom-laden corpse of a long-dead creature. They entered a cave with knee-deep water and found an old skeleton atop a small aisle. Tulok was inspired to call out the name Otari, thinking the strange hints from the previous floors above might have led to here. Fireflies sprung to life as flicker wisps, and a sickly and mottled ghost of a mysterious man rose from the aisle, asking, "Who calls the name?"
Good news, everyone. Well, yeah, I mean, it's good news. It's good news. But it's on the heels of an idiot mistake that I talked about before on a couple of occasions. But our beautiful...
Ooh, idiot mistake, my specialty.
Our beautiful Foundry calendar is now mostly restored as accurately as possible. Thanks to some looking back on the recap notes that Scott and I work on for our reviews and edits, and also thanks to James catching some info on an upcoming episode, or sorry, not an upcoming episode, previous episode.
How time works.
Speaking of idiot mistakes,
Knew it was rigged.
Of a previous episode.
For context, this comes out in April 2023.
My brain.
And we're recording in October 2022.
I hope you beat that out so no one knows how far ahead we are. This comes out beep, 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 beep.
Doesn't matter. But so I've mostly restored it, which I'm pretty stoked about, actually, because I felt like a real moron when I accidentally erased everything, because it was a combination, as James and I were talking earlier, a combination of negligence on my part as well as complete and utter stupidity, because it literally gave me a warning after I clicked the button, this will erase everything, and I just said, yup. But as far as I know, we started on the 19th of Rova. The very next day, Samal died.
Yep.
2 days later, Raphael joins the party. Was an odd gap, but that's how the notes seem to read. And the next day is what I've labeled as the longest day in history, because as far as my notes are concerned, you guys encountered Taggletop, fought Mr. Beak, attempted to fight, get Samal's body back before that even. Gauntlet then attacked, and Gerald showed he was badass, and then you helped the wounded, and then Longsaddle dressed down was dressed down by Manhemus, and then Raphael departed with Samal's body, and Lady Gilda joined the party, all in a single day. possibly.
Yeah. No,
Which
there's no way.
doesn't
Gilda
sound
was
quite
literally
right.
the day after.
So Raphael was only with us for one day.
But what I do remember,
Jesus Christ.
maybe two, maybe two. What I do remember for sure is that when Gauntlet attacked, it was at like noon, so it was very early in the day. I just remember that happening. And the clouds came over and it was all dark and everything, but it seemed like night, but it wasn't. Yeah, so a lot happened. And then shortly after, like 2 days later ish, Gilda received her honorary field promotion. It's probably a little bit later than that even. But by the 27th, apparently, oh no, maybe it was the 27th, the 25th. I don't know. Okay, like I said, it's mostly assembled. It's not perfect, but within a week, essentially, of Samal dying, Gilda has joined the party and received her field promotion, and then the next day Shad dies, and the next day Physic dies, and from there we're like 2 or 3 days away from that, maybe. So we are, I believe, in the next month. We're no longer in the month of Rova, but in the month of Lamashon, which is named after the god Lamashtu.
Yeah, the day we went back should have been the first of Lamashon.
So we are closer to having our timeline reinstated. And
and if any of the listeners want to help us out, if
actually
you're
does
listening
thrill me.
through,
Oh,
that'd be great.
yeah, I mean, by the time you hear this, we'll probably have figured it out. But
Don't bet on
large recording versus release gap right here now. But
yeah.
yeah.
And you can get a direct line to us by going to unchartednorth.com/discord. That will bring you right into our fan Discord. Totally free to join, and the more the merrier. So
yeah, and if there's a crazy person out there who's been tracking all the days, oh God, please tell me. I want to know what drives you crazy.
Tell them, and then when you tell them, do something else really weird too, like send them a pinky or something.
Yeah.
track physics arrows.
What's in this
What's
box?
in the box?
But I'm glad you admitted you were wrong, Freeman, and I think that calls for a round of hero points.
Ooh.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I made a note here for myself. What does it say here?
James was right last week. Level up.
Give a hero point to give a hero point to it says Scoot.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. It says give Scoot a hero point for his use of blindness in the previous fight, because honestly,
he deserved it.
What a ridiculously good move in retrospect.
I'm just now realizing how ridiculous it is to call them hero points, because we already have a metric called HP.
It's so true.
Paizo,
what should we call them then? What should
good
we call them?
Points.
What? Mm-hmm. Good points? We've already got one for gold pieces, dude. GP, come on.
Damn it.
Keep up.
Pathfinder treats, PT. Gilda's got 2 strokes in PT.
How about Scooby snacks?
Extra points, EXP.
There we go.
Well, the thing I wanted to, the reason that came up in my brain for the blindness thing, I mean, like that fight was crazy because there was nowhere in the room that was safe. So like Tulak would normally stay back, and he did stay back, but he made the most of staying back. Like he could have been right up against that creature and still as likely to be hit, except he blinded the hell out of it. So
thank you for your sick roll.
Yeah. So I thought of that afterward because I realized that I played blindness a little bit wrong. And it didn't really amount to much change, I don't think, but essentially I forgot that blindness would add conditions to you guys, which are the hidden and or undetected conditions. So basically Tulak would have been undetected. That's why he never got targeted again, because the creature it didn't seek and had no idea where he was at. And then most of the time, Kruka and Gilda and even the skeletal champion were hidden, meaning the creature knew where you were at, but still had to do a 50% mischance, a DC 11 flat check. But what I also did miss is that the creature would have been absolutely flat-footed at all times, regardless of flanking to hidden creatures and whatnot. So that's the. I
It
think
was
that's
always flanked anyway, so
yeah. By the
doesn't
time
really
it was
matter.
blinded, I think that's the case. But it's something to really keep in mind going forward. It really set the tone in my brain of just how powerful that blindness spell could be if it's used correctly. So shitballs.
Yeah, clutch move, Scoot. Make sure you
Clutch.
blind these wisps because this combat is going to be hairy.
I can't. Is one. Because we didn't rest, did we?
Sure didn't.
Well, we took like 20, 30 minutes or something like that.
Okay, well that's okay. I got some spells. I'm just not popping off, but that's okay.
I don't think you can blind a flicker.
No,
wisp,
and also
though.
they have immunities to magic, as far as I remember.
Yeah, it's immunities to a lot of things.
Oh yeah. And I did sort of accidentally give this away. Not that it matters too much, I don't think. At the end of the last episode, but you have 2 flicker wisps, but also a will-o-wisp. But this is the first time you've actually seen a will-o-wisp. You've seen versions of wisps. We've never seen a will-o-wisp, like the classic creature.
Get
And
the
there's-
fucking lantern ready.
and it's like a glowing skull in like this like orangey light. And here we go. They just appear out of nowhere after this ghost appears out of this little islet, I guess, out of the water, and asks you who, you guys are basically called out Otari's name, asks you who's calling that, and then boom, these things appear and attack. So we're gonna roll for initiative right out of the gate.
That's not French, listeners.
Let's
Le
start
Pot.
with Krucka and his smart little mouth.
Hell, this smart little mouth rolled me a 29.
Oh, okay. How about Lady Gil?
Enchanté.
5 on the die for a 15.
You are a typical heavy armored, shielded beater down of enemies. Low initiative.
Foundry, man.
2
I had
luck.
such bad rolls last time. It's going to be all in that 20s.
I would like to make the argument that I was attempting to be diplomatic and should be rolling initiative with diplomacy.
I am going to deny you this. and I'll explain
That's
later.
totally cool. I was really reaching. Big reach guy. That's an 18.
Okay, we are going to start the combat with the ghost. The ghost is going to vanish from its spot, and it pops up right next to Krucka, emerging from his shadow, and reaches a ghostly hand out towards the will-o-wisp,
It's Voltroning. Get it.
striking it, and actually no, missing it, and attempting a second attack, missing it again barely, and then vanishing before reappearing back on the islet. But as it does, Krucka, you see like it pops up, and you can see much closer like the mottled sort of like diseased skin on the would-be face and flesh of this ghost. And you as this creature pops up in your shadow, you can feel that spreading through your shadow into your person, and it reaches out and it's just like, finally I will find a way to stop you harrying me, and lashes out, and the wisp just sort of just like dodges out of the way. And I need you to roll me a fortitude save as this filthy bit of its essence creeps all over you.
Okay, well, stealing himself, you say. I recall the words of wise warriors. I ain't afraid of no ghost. 26 on the fortitude.
What a wordsmith. Success. You're good to go. That is going to bring it to your turn.
Okay. So which is the will-o-wisp and which is the flicker wisps?
The will-o-wisp is the one that's just south of you. There's 2 flicker wisps.
He would like to recall knowledge on the will-o-wisp, please.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an occultism.
Ooh, not great. 18.
No dice.
Well, then he will smack it with an axe. 20 to hit.
I'm afraid that's a miss.
Okay. He will take a step back for his third action.
Okay. Next up is the Will-O-Wisp. And the Will-O-Wisp is going to turn. It's been being struck at twice now. You step away, and it just turns to the nearest target, which is going to be Lady Gilda, and is going to attempt to strike her with its shock attack. Oof, for a 35 to hit.
Oh, well.
Is it a melee attack?
It is a melee attack.
Okay. I'm gonna use my reaction.
But it is not physical damage.
The trigger is enemy hits you with a melee strike.
Okay.
I'm going to use my reaction to reactive shield,
Okay. Yep.
which, only makes my AC a 25, so it's still a crit. So that's not helpful at all.
Okay. Let's go ahead. You take a 24 electricity damage. Also, I want everyone to bear in mind before I forget again. You are all in difficult terrain. So technically, Kruka didn't step; he had to stride, but there was no attack opportunity.
Okay.
And the Will-O-Wisp goes dark. And next up is a Flicker Wisp, the one next to south of Lady Gilda, and also next to Tulak, which is then going to flicker. You've seen this before. It starts to churn and flit in the air, more or less in and around your head, Lady Gilda, and there's a bewildering array of distracting pulsations, as it's described. I need a will save, please.
That is a natural 20 for a 30.
Hey.
Very nice. You are immune for 24 hours from this creature.
From this
And-
creature, not from the effect.
Yes, correct. From this creature's attempt to affect you with it. And it is going to attempt to shock you as well with a 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
Your shield's up, though, isn't it?
No, the reactive shield is only the one-time bonus, and I wasted it.
It's just for that attack.
Yeah, you immediately use the raise shield action and gain your shield's bonus to your AC. So
But it doesn't last until your next turn?
no,
Oh, that's a
just
damn shame, actually.
determining the outcome of the triggering attack.
Okay. Well, you still only take 5 electricity from this one. Next up is Tulak.
All right, Tulok is looking around, and he appears to be flanked by these flicker wisps as his pupil fades from his eye. He casts Animate Dead and will raise the Festrog to his right.
Oh, the Festrog comes out of the murky waters. Let me just try and find out where he's at in my...
It's a level 1 creature.
Oh, wow. Missed that Festrog.
Festrog.
All right, and the Festrog will attack the Flicker Wisp to the north with its jaws.
Okay,
Is an 18 to hit.
that's a miss.
All right, and
Not by much. You roll
will
pretty shit
attack
there.
again at the map -4 with a claw. 23 to hit.
That hits.
And that is going to be 5 slashing damage.
Okay, 5 slashing.
And that's Tulok.
And that's you. Oh, yeah. 3 action for the summon. Lady Gilda. Work your magic.
Yeah, we fucking ruined these things the last time we fought them in Ep 17. So I'm really hoping they haven't gotten any stronger since then. So she's gonna reach out and punch the one directly south to her. That is a 28 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, that is 10 points of bludgeoning
Yep.
and 6 points of good.
Positive. You do positive.
I do positive? Fuck, I can never remember. I thought positive was 1E.
No, they both exist in 1E and 2E. It's 5E that they don't both exist in. There's no alignment damage in 5E.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the trick.
1E I'm talking about. But
Yeah, but
okay.
1E's got both as well. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm reasonably
second. Yeah,
Nerds!
it does for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, second action, she's going to strike with her map -4. That is a critical fail. And third action,
Nice.
she will raise their shield.
Okay. And Flicker Wisp numéro 2 will attack Tulak with a flicker. Can I get a will save? Merci beaucoup.
That's culturally insensitive French, listeners.
It's just
that is
Quebecois. Relax.
a 23.
That is a success, and you will take a shock attack from this creature as well with a 13
Miss.
hits.
I don't remember how to say 23 in
No.
French. I really was racking my brain there, but
23, Abby.
23.
Okay, it is the ghost's turn, who is going to again vanish from his spot and pop up this time next to Tulak and swing a ghostly hand at the Flicker Wisp next to him and the Festrog with a whopping 28 to hit, which strikes true, and he basically manages to just swipe this hand through and catch a whole bunch of like the sort of would-be fireflies, a part of that twirling black mist, and just tear it apart with 19 negative damage.
Whoa.
This is begone with you, creatures that torture and feed on fear.
And he vanishes again and reappears on the isle. And Tulak, same for you. I need a fortitude save as this feverish disease creeps up your shadow.
Ooh, hot roll. Got a 26, baby.
All right, yep, you're good. Oh boy, okay. And one Flicker Wisp down. It's going to bring us to Krucka.
So the ghost is still visible. Could he do a recall knowledge on the ghost?
You sure can, yeah. It will be occultism or religion, or a lore if you have one. And I will say it's going to be, it's what you call it, an incredibly hard DC.
Oh, okay.
By
yeah,
mechanical definitions.
that classic.
This is a unique
term
creature.
that we're all aware of. Religion it is. Nat 1.
You're pretty sure it's your
Yeah.
dad.
Father?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that was worth a shot. So he will stride 10 feet south and take a whack at the... Ooh. I can't remember if that's a will-o-wisp moved before.
We don't know. It went
You don't
invisible
know.
And then it fucked up.
Yeah.
So you can attempt to go to that space
That's...
and see what happens.
Also, that being said, Krucka would know that I have a Ghost Touch whip on my hip that I'm not currently using if you need a weapon with Ghost Touch.
Yeah. Well, first he'll swing at this here. Flicker Wisp.
I don't know if that helps either way.
Does it not? Do they have physical resistances?
I don't know if it even covers physical resistances. It might just be the subtype Ghost.
I think James is thinking strategically towards the ghost, not the wisps.
Yes, the ghost.
That ghost touch would allow you to bypass like effects that are caused by incorporeal creatures or defenses. by
Ghost seems on our
incorporeal
side,
creatures.
Okay.
so...
Yeah.
I mean, so far.
Well, we'll see if we can talk our
It's
way
also
out of this.
diseasing you as it appears in your shadows. So
Well, I can't help that. Maybe he's just contagious. Yeah.
It is. That's why we have to roll saves.
Okay. Well, we'll cross that bridge and kill the ghost once we deal with the wisps. Because, as those warriors said, busting makes me feel good. So, swing.
I believe that was the theme song, and none of them ever actually said that. But man, was that a deep cut.
Oh, Freeman's about to do a spit take right now.
so close.
Okay, so he's striding the 10 feet south and swinging with the axe at the Flicker Wisp with a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. And there is in no world do you not kill it. So describe your kill.
He basically brings the axe down with a lot more force than he's had to because he hasn't had to fight one of these before, and a swarm of fireflies does not give him the give he imagines, and he just kind of like
Yeah.
drives his axe into the ground as the thing falls to pieces.
You just splash like mucky water all over
Yeah.
you and Lady Gilda.
And that's a turn.
It's like trying to chop a piece of wood without a proper block under it. Like if you ever chopped a piece of wood on dirt, there's just no give, and it just...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Or it's all give, I guess.
A rope of sand.
All right. So you move and strike. Anything
No,
else?
that's it.
Okay. And next up is the Will-O-Wisp, who is going to try and shock Tulok.
Freeman's out to kill me today.
And Tulok, you are flat-footed to this. Bear in mind.
Is this thing actually invisible, or does it have to?
Oh, it's invisible.
Okay.
And I rolled real bad. That's a 20 to hit.
That is a big fat
boy.
miss.
Against your flat-footed?
Oh, is flat-footed -2 or -1?
-2.
Meat to beat.
Oh, you take... Oof, jeez. You take 20 electricity damage.
Jeez.
Can I use my retributive strike on this?
What's the trigger of that? It's just damage in general, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you will reduce that damage by 7. Do I get the reactive strike?
Yes, because it does appear after it does this. It exposes itself.
That is a 31 to hit.
Woo!
Oh, that hits. Yep.
It is 14 points of bludgeoning
Mm-hmm.
and 4 points of good.
Okay. Positive.
Positive.
Are you positive?
Ugh, no.
This is you know why you're being tripped up right now is because the previous creature was weak to good, and we had the conversation last time.
Yeah, that's probably exactly why.
Yeah.
I thought there was only one or the other in this version for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
I mean, now I'm questioning it. I was like, do you do good damage? I'm pretty sure you do positive. Quite
No, I
sure.
do positive.
Okay.
It's positive. I'm looking it up as we speak.
Okay.
I just had to figure out where I got it from.
This is where James like locked in information brain works. He gets it and he locks into it.
Yeah. And it never changes.
It's very difficult. Okay, so Will-O-Wisp reactive retributive strike, very nice. Okay, Will-O-Wisp is now going to. It basically just like it tries to hit you with this shock attack, Tulok, and appears and gets hit, but it's like this skull is just like in your face, and you can just hear these like weird eminent whispers coming out of it, and just like it's a whole bunch of different noises and words saying things like, cower in fear, and you will be defeated, and it's like really like platitudes, but they might get under your skin a bit as this creature tries to intimidate you and demoralize you. So I'm going against your will DC here for a 29.
Oh, yeah. Like Will DC is just like
I rolled pretty big.
it,
10 plus
10
your,
plus my
plus
modifier.
your bonus.
Yeah, so this is a 19.
Yeah.
So you
so it's a critical success.
critical success.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you're frightened too by that then. I didn't really expect to critically succeed there. Demoralized, critical success. Yeah, you're frightened too. And it's going to try and strike you a second time for 25 to hit.
That will hit.
And you take another 13 shock damage, electricity damage. And it's your turn.
Okay, it's still visible in front of me, correct?
Correct.
So Tulok, more flavor-wise than anything, kind of stumbles back a little bit, frightened, wide-eyed, and is just like, Festrog, attack it! Kill it now! And will spend one action sustaining, and Festrog just fucking leaps at this thing with a jaw attack. Critically fails and misses. But just goes straight at it again with the claws. That's going to be another miss, but that's okay. So Tulok has sustained that spell. Then will... Fuck. I had a bunch of shit I was going to do, and then you really went
And then we'll
fucked it up, didn't you?
So, I mean, you know the general magic communities. I will say they sometimes vary from wisp to
Well,
wisp.
that's okay. So
there are some exceptions.
yeah, so
right?
I know that Magic Missile for sure is one, but I'm kind of going to go with what I was going to do before. So Tulok, kind of stumbling backward, sustaining the spell, looks to his side and taps Lady Gilda for some help, and will cast Guidance upon her. And actually, I don't think I can,
Okay.
because I think, did I cast Guidance on you last combat? I did. Okay,
You did,
so I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna instead. He looks past you to Krucka, and we'll cast guidance on Krucka, and then we'll roll a recall knowledge on the straight up Will-O-the-Wisp. And that was occult or any of the magic.
Yes, occult. We haven't been rolling them private like we should. So let me just. No, you don't know.
Son of a bitch. All right, not getting much.
Should have done your research before.
And Tulok turns to the ghost of Otari and says, "If you are Otari, help us now. We're here to avenge you. Please, come." And just kind of looks back and ends his turn.
Okay. Next up, Lady Gilda.
As Tulok takes this stumble, Gilda in her recoil reaches out to help stabilize him, and in the process cast Lay on Hands with her first action.
Okay.
That is 18 points back to Tulok.
Ooh, fuck
As
yeah.
she stabilizes his stride, she reaches forward and just uses that momentum to throw it right at the Will-O-Wisp. Second action is a punch for 16. I'm going to use my hero point to re-roll that.
Okay.
That is a 31.
Whoa, baby.
That's a hit.
There's 8 points of bludgeoning, 3 points of positive.
Okay.
And with her last action, she'll throw again. As an 18 to hit.
Miss.
Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit.
Top of the order. The ghost disappears. Reappears in Lady Gilda's shadow. I am sorry for this. And just says to Lady Gilda and then reaches out to attack the wisp. And strikes true, dealing 18 negative damage
Wow.
before vanishing again and reappearing on the island.
Let's not fight
And
this
I need
guy.
a fortitude save, please.
That is a natural one for a 13.
Ooh.
Oh, you spent your hero point, eh?
Yeah, I am HP-less.
That is not good.
No good points?
It's not good.
It's gonna be bad.
You become sickened for 1 full day.
Cool.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Retching will not remove this.
Still 24-hour flu.
So you are taking a penalty to fucking everything.
Except my AC. Oh no, there's a penalty to my AC too.
Krucka, you're up.
Okay. Does Krucka have to be across from the Festrog to put that Will-O-Wisp into flanking?
Yes.
And is that unoccupiable to space?
No.
Can I stand there? No. Okay. So he's just gonna step east and take a whack with the butchering axe. No, he's gonna step east and get mad first.
It's gonna rage. Love the old rage. I know you're always waiting to get hit so you can just rage for free.
Yeah, but I mean the amount of damage you can do once you get that axe all fired up. It's
Oh man,
Hell yeah.
just
totally
to burn
worth
the
it,
point.
yeah.
For a 30 to hit, that
That hits.
hit.
Describe your kill.
Woo.
Well, it was a pretty big hit too. 31 damage.
Damn.
Oh Jesus! What the hell?
This time he thinks he's gonna go easy on it and use the appropriate amount of force, but once again he gets a little carried away, and this time just buries his axe in the ground with a big plume of flame.
Oh my god!
The rock it hits melts.
So much damage.
Yeah. Just struggles a little bit, but not too much to pull him into
Oh
the
yeah,
ground.
there's just a bit of molten rock left behind. Some sparks go flying, and this Will-O-Wisp just cleft in twain. Just sparks.
Liquid hot magma.
And as you deliver this final blow, the ghost, who has been in combat ready position over this islet this whole time, arms down, settles down closer to the rock. It just gets this look of sort of pained relief over its face and says,
I am Otario Vashti. Who calls my name?
Tulok drops the spell, so the body of Festrog goes limp, and as he steps over it, my name is Tulok. I've come here with my companions Kruka and Lady Gilda of August, from a town named in your honor, Otari. You may not have heard of it, since you have not left this place since your death, but your friends in the Rose Guard named it on your behalf because you fell here. We come seeking vengeance, and to kill the Lady Belcora if she lives. That is who we are, and that is our purpose.
Gilda's just like doubled over, hands on knees, just thumb up every now and again. You just see her kind of shake with a dry heave.
I'm good. And Otari is just sort of flabbergasted by this, what you now realize is an info dump.
Yeah.
And his look of pained relief it kind of like increases. But he gets a little bit like, jaw tight, lower lip quiver as you mention the town of Otari and the Rose Guard naming it as such. And he says,
That is quite the story, Master Tulok. They really named the town after me?
They did. And some of the descendants of your friends yet live there. I don't know if you know this or an easy way to tell you, but centuries have passed since your death.
Of that I am aware. Sadly enough, I have been lost and bound and harried in this cave for long enough for that not to be a surprise.
We followed your trail down here.
My,
The path you left behind you. It led us to you. How have you come to be this way? Why have you not passed on to the boneyard?
it can only be explained through unfinished business. I believe this
I was
is the
100%
case.
sure you were going to say through song.
Just starts tap dancing on the rocks over there.
Don't stop.
Skeletons pop up with
believing.
jazz hands.
Just a scene from Coco.
So good. Sick movie though, by the way.
Have you seen The Corpse Brides? Like old ghosts, spectral undead, and haunts, there's always unfinished business. Mine is no different from them. My memories are outdated, scattered at best. But there is a link to my psychic resonance to this place. What I recall is hunting Belcora. We knew that she had some sort of grudge against Absalom. She intended to use her gauntlet, this lighthouse above, as a weapon against the city. We never discovered its actual use. But more importantly, the Rose Guard never discovered the levels below. It was only I who learned of them in my last few days alive. But I died here before I could reach them again or continue forward.
Tell me, have you seen Belcora or her minion Volok since your death?
I do not know about this Volok, but my connection to this place has offered me glimpses into its keep and some of its key players. But it is awash with confusion in parts. What I do know is that the gauntlet was apparently built to transport creatures across great distances and animate the dead with its light.
We have seen this light,
And
in all of its horror. It was pointed upon Otari, the city. Very recently, we lost many of our friends and family there. We hope to not see it in use again, but we don't know if it's a ticking time. Wait. Clocks don't exist. That's true.
Yes, I do.
Clockwork, yes.
Clockwork
yes,
exists in Galarian.
We do.
We don't know if it's a silent sundial.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't like one of the main features of Absalom a
Yeah,
clock
and
tower?
also,
Yeah,
stupid
probably.
bird. Clockwork birds. All right. We don't know how long until it will attack again. So, we have been diving deeper and deeper into these caves and this fortress.
I felt the use of the gunlight not long ago. So I believe you. I believe this claim. It is true that she still is around, but it is not quite what you might imagine. This place, these caves as you call them, she calls them the Abomination Vaults. There is something about them that increases the manifestation of ghosts, haunts, and the like. I initially believed it was a side effect of Godlight itself, but over the centuries, I have come to suspect a link much more ancient and ominous, a source deep below this level. Something that's...
It's Nimbeloth. Oh Jesus, we know his temple's below.
I know nothing of this Nimbaloth. But what I do know is that the ghosts fear crossing to the other side more than usual. I am here because of unfinished business, but most of the specters that exist here are just afraid, for whatever reason, to enter the River of Souls. And that is terrifying in its own way.
He looks right at Tulak.
Belcora is not alive, but she is like me, a ghost bound to this place, anchored deep below, and somewhere deep underground. She is pushing further, her range and her movement slowly expanding, her reach extending through sheer malevolent will. I fear she plans to have full range of all of her vaults, and to fully reactivate Godlight with all its true original power in a long-delayed attack on Absalom.
This worries us greatly. Many have already been lost, and that would be truly tragic, as you know. Can you help us move forward? Have you searched this floor? There is a sort of force field that we cannot move past. Have you left this room?
I am bound to this site. I cannot move without a shift in the balance of the psychic energies of this place. But that has given me insight. So yes, I can help you. This force field that is there, it is new, though you might not know it. It is newly formed after a surge of power, I assume from Godlight above. It is powered by the souls of Belcora's defeated enemies. You've seen the walk, the sarcophagi. Their souls have been stripped to power this barrier. But so I cannot understand how I know this. The psychic resonance of those enemies that defeated her can drop the barrier. There is an altar north of the hallway, and if you can find a way to place their resonance upon it, the barrier will fall, and I will no longer be bound here. These resonances can be found in the most precious items the Rose Guard ever possessed. Icons, you might call them, and mine is there on my corpse. My thieves' tools, and you are welcome to them, as well as my other equipment.
Thank you, Otari. I am truly sorry and deeply saddened by the time that you spent here, alone and bound to this evil place. But with that, I make a promise that we will bring down Belcora Nimbleoth, though you don't know that name, as well as the Gauntlet as a whole. We will avenge you for everything that's happened to you. Trust me, we will bring this place to the ground. And he steps forward towards Otari and the island.
And Otari steps back to give you space to go to his skeletal body laying on the ground, and you can loot the equipment there. And he sort of he's a little choked up. Not because of what you said, but because what he's about to say next. The items, the icons of my comrades, my friends, my brothers and sisters in arms. I know which material goods belong to them or are most precious to them. I do not know where they are, but perhaps you can track them down. There was, of course, the cleric, Esefna Menimes. She always bore the religious symbol of her god, a rastil, the bow and arrow, in the form of a brooch upon her person. And of course, Zarmavdian, he was a wizard. Always with his book, never without it. The threshold of knowledge, he called it. He was an odd one. And the apparently fallen prince, Vorojani. They always had a story to tell, but never his history to tell. And him, well, his longsword, the cooperative blade, he called it, was probably a better friend to him than any of us. These are the items you seek. I hope you can find them. I believe in my soul, which is all I have left, that you will need all four. I wish I could help you further. But now I simply pray you can finish what we didn't know we had to.
Tulok nods. Thank you, Otari. This has been truly helpful. Finally, a step in the right direction after so many losses that we've faced. We will put your soul to rest, and you will be at peace. And he moves away.
And Otari's ghost, with a look of incredible relief for the moment, vanishes. And before we get to the equipment you've picked up, another bottle cap for Scoot.
Nicely done, bud.
You just made that info dump so easy on me because you knew exactly what was going on and what questions to ask.
Rack them up, baby.
You didn't miss a beat there. That was great.
All right. Well, let's talk about some fun stuff. So, I just picked up obviously his thieves' tools, which I will be holding on to if everyone's cool with that.
Until we need to put them on the altar. Yes.
Yeah. And also I picked up a sneaky key, which is a talisman. So it gets affixed to armor, and if you are an expert in thievery, you pin this to your armor sleeve, and when you turn the key to activate it for the next minute, if the outcome of any of your attempts to pick a lock is a critical failure, you just get a regular failure instead. So kind of cool. +1 studded armor. Heyo. Krucka?
Ooh. Yep.
Yeah?
I mean, yes.
What are you wearing now? Oh, you're just wearing regular studded leather. Oh, yeah.
So
perfect.
stick a +1 on that bad boy.
All right. I assume everyone's cool with him having that, so I'll move that over.
Yeah, for sure. It's just in my bag of holding right now. And then also there is a dagger of venom. So yeah, it's a
You, bud.
+1 striking dagger. The hilt.
I mean, you're pretty much our rogue, so it
Yeah,
makes
I
sense
mean,
for you to keep stuff like that.
Cool. Well, I'm cool with that because I said a regular dagger already. So
Yeah. We're moving on up.
yeah, we really are.
Except not level wise, Freeman.
Speaking of moving on up, do we need to go back to Atari to find this shit? Or do we want to explore this passageway to the north first?
Which passageway? Oh, the one up.
Yeah.
Up yonder.
Yeah.
I think that's the only place we haven't looked at here. But keep in mind, Gilda is like sweating feverishly.
Did you?
No,
not,
we
did you
haven't.
not go look at it yet?
Nope.
For some reason, I thought you did. Oh no, I'm thinking of the one that after the gibbering mouther. That's what I'm thinking of. Well, I mean, if that's the way you go, we'll make it real quick then, because that's why I got confused. It's a twisting, complex set of caverns and caves, but eventually it ends in underwater caves and stuff that go on for a while, even on low tide. So you can't actually travel unless you can breathe underwater.
All right.
It's beyond the scope of the adventure. As they say.
Invisible wall.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. I guess the only thing, so speaking to Dunk and James, I didn't pick up if he said anything about where to find these items.
He didn't.
No.
He specifically said
Yeah,
he didn't know
but
where.
it's we have a Menhimes in the city and
And a
Rajani,
Rajani,
so we imagine we can find that stuff. I know there's this whole coup going on between Rajani. Gilda's made kind of an imprint on him. You know, he made the armor for his father. He made both of her shields. Like there's a connection there that we could.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
And yeah, I guess technically she did convince him to start a coup in 36.
Which we recently reviewed
Yeah.
and edited.
But we could talk to him.
That episode title is
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
But we could talk to him about the longsword. We could talk to Morlebint and Kevin about the threshold of knowledge. And then if we don't want to try and hunt down Menhimes and at his mansion, we could always try Vandy for the brooch of Erastil.
Mhm.
Or maybe we could try the local cleric of Erastil.
Wait, was that Arthur?
Yeah, which well, there's no local cleric, but there is a local shrine at the Farmers Guild.
Is there like a genealogist around? Like a 23andMe in Otari? A 23 and Menhimes?
I just invoked your name on everyone.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make the Menhimes joke.
It was a good bit, Doug.
Oh God. All right. Well, God, this is now I've pulled up my calendar and I'm going, oh God, what day is it? Oh, we don't actually technically know yet. We're working on that. But we'll say it's about noon. So you guys are gonna head back to Otari? That's the plan?
I don't know what else to do. And it would be way later than noon if we explored that cave. Probably be close to dusk, right?
Yeah, you're definitely getting a little closer to dusk. So you're probably coming in really late at night as you re-enter town.
Should we awaken a portal? Because I mean, I know it doesn't matter to us because every single time we come in here, we're essentially just hand waving it that we walk all the way down. But you'd think if you were actually on the adventure, you'd want to not walk down all the stairs every single time.
Well, that's just it. It's like the idea of the portals is that it should take you less time to get back to town. Like right now, you're looking at you go to explore those caves a little bit. I'm not going to add too much time on, but it's going to take you, it takes you a good half hour just to walk from the entrance of the ruins on the surface to town. So getting all the way back up to the surface and then to town, like it's a whole ordeal, right? It's hours it takes you to do.
Yeah.
So you can expedite that. You can really, really skip a lot of it by having these portals activated. And the further you go, the more it's going to become a nuisance to go back.
So, I mean, you can attempt to activate them. Gilda cannot help you.
No. All right. Well,
you haven't activated one yet, have you?
No.
So you have to activate both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you critically succeed.
No,
is that always
no, you still have to do that.
It just increases the length of time it stays active.
Yeah, because basically you have to activate both of them within 1d6 days. But if you critically succeed, you have a year to awaken the other side.
Yeah. So if you reactivate, say, the one on level 1, you have however many days, a roll amount of days to get another one active. Otherwise, it just goes dormant. But if you activate them, now they're connected. You're good to go for a while, is what I recall. And if you critically seize, then you have loads of
You have
time
a
to
year.
figure it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's only an hour to cast. So like you go ahead, man, if you want to.
I will. Okay. So,
Hey, which one are you going to
Well,
go for then?
I was going to do one floor up from here just because the only one that we found on this floor is in
In the dining room.
in the dining room, which is annoying because then we had to go back
Yeah.
up anyways. So
So you want to do the one on the library level? That's like kind of your next close to base of operations anyway.
yeah, so I don't know which the most convenient one is at this point. Oh yeah, because there's that. Okay, so there's that one, and then there's the other one in that spy room. But yeah, let's do the one off of the chillin' area in the south of the library.
Yeah, there are these two up here as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the reading room, as it were, with the where the gauntlet power was twisting and stuff. Yeah, that's where you found the secret room offshoot with the teleportation circle, the larger one.
While Tulok's doing this, Gilda's going to take the defend action in her sickened state, because I'm sure he warns her that this can go horribly, horribly wrong.
How's she doing for health?
By the time we get up here, she's probably okay with a lay on hands. I'm only down 30, and a lay on hands is 18, and then I get 1 back for every minute. So,
Okay.
Okay, so Tulok will walk into the room, but before he does, he turns to Krucka and Lady Gilda and says, "You both know that I've never attempted this before. Please be ready. Once I've opened this portal, if I can, there is the potential of something coming out of it if I've opened it to the wrong place. So be at the ready." And then he moves into the room and would like to cast guidance on himself.
Okay.
And then looking at the portal, he begins to move his hands in wide sweeping gestures, highlighting different silver embellishments upon the wall, and essentially goes into a trance-like state for the next hour.
I'd love to give you guidance, but it only lasts to the start of your next turn or the end of your next turn. So
What do you mean? But I'm going to cast it immediately.
casting time is an hour.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
for the ritual.
Right, but
Yeah.
do you roll at the beginning or
Yeah,
the end of
nothing
the
activate.
hour-long casting?
You don't
time?
roll. No, you roll at the
Okay,
end
End,
of the ritual.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
Trust me,
enough.
I've looked into
Mechanically
gaming the
preventing
system.
you from, yeah.
Okay.
From doing such things. Yeah.
So Tulok will
Um,
make his roll.
So for this particular ritual, I believe it's an occultism check. Occultism or arcane. Yeah, either one.
All right.
Secondary checks, I believe, can be used, but don't have to be used.
So
No,
Tulok
I'll be
rolls a fat 28, baby.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay. You feel the power being pulled from these silver etched runes throughout the room and melding with your own. You spend this whole hour with full concentration and just really trying to nail it. Gilda's dry heaving out in the chill room, and you succeed. You awaken this piece of a portal, or this teleportation circle in particular, and you feel you pretty much nailed it. Not a crit success, but it is open and ready for a connection for 6 days.
Okay. So,
Nice.
so Tulok walks back out of the room, just like covered in sweat, looking drained, and says, "I think that I've managed to open this side, but we have to find a linking portal and open that one as well." And he just begins to walk away.
He doesn't know where the linked portal is.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Technically, no.
No,
You've found so many circles, large and
Yeah.
small, so far. Yeah,
Player
That's what I
Scott
figured. I
is
just-
assuming, but
you could maybe deduce a bit, but yeah, you don't know for sure.
okay. And then we continue up, and on the way out, he would like to stop and try to activate another one.
Okay, which one? Next one up.
Yep.
Okay, you take your time to make your way to the level 2 teleportation circle room, which you have not been in a very long time.
And I believe there's only one on this floor, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So Tulok turns to his companions and says, as I said before, the same thing goes here. Watch my back. And he rolls a 24 for the next hour's work.
And you succeed.
Yeah. Do I know if they connect?
They connect. They immediately connect. You can feel
Oh.
the energy in the connection. You now have a much faster route from the second level to the third level for, as far as you know, a nearly indefinite amount of time.
And let's be honest, that one doesn't help so much, but it's a start. It's just one floor.
Well, the one we know of on the floor above doesn't work anymore. So I think that's about as good as we're going to get.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Right.
It'll come in
It's a
more
strip
handy as we
clean
go
of
deeper
its-
and deeper.
Yeah.
And yeah, head back to
yeah.
town.
Good call. Heading back to town. And you head back to town, walking down the old Gaunt Trail, keeping your eyes peeled for any more shenanigans with marsh giants or some such, any more MacGuffins. And as you emerge from the forest and sort of survey the town from the cliff above, everyone roll me a perception check.
Oh boy. Half the town is wearing like blue buffs and the other team is wearing like orange buffs, and it's just turned into a game of Survivor.
24.
13.
19.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lady Gilda, despite your uneasy stomach, you are probably in the lead and doing your best to keep an eye out. And as you enter the city, you notice a thin trail of smoke to the south you might not normally see. And it seems to be coming from the Dawnflower Library.
She breaks out in whatever sprint she can south towards the graveyard.
Okay.
She will activate the bracers of dashing.
Oh, okay.
What?
Boom. She fucking guns it. Love
Well,
it.
she runs about as fast as a regular person now. So instead of 20, her speed is now 30.
Yeah. Ever so slightly faster than the average.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and you
try
notice
not
that
to
odd gait.
Throw up.
Does she say anything?
She just yells smoke and starts running towards the Dawnflower Library because she remembers there being a staircase on the cliffside, even though I think we know that the town has sealed it up. I don't think she knows.
Yeah, actually, they haven't exactly sealed it up, but once you get to the graveyard, you notice that there's plenty of security within the graveyard now. There's lots of town guard posted and such, and there are a couple gathered near the edge of the cliff that's right over where the smoke is trailing. But you are quickly intercepted by a town guard that reassures you that everything's under control and that there was a small fire, possibly an arson. But it's been stamped out.
Son of a bitch.
But they're still investigating, and Long Saddle is, on top of it. They give you all the platitudes.
Tulok gets filled in on this and he says, "Don't we have so much to think about already? Arson. What is the town coming to? We need to rally them together. We still have to bury.
Now, we haven't confirmed that just yet. Don't get out of your way now. It's just a little, usually Vanny's pretty careful, so we're just covering all our bases.
Have we buried Shad or Physic yet?
Yeah.
No, they've been.
Sorry. Yeah, they're
They're still
wrapped.
gentle reposed and kept in the Dawnflower, at the library. Yeah.
Just moldering away.
No Molder. Gentle repose. They're fine.
Oh, Mulder.
Perhaps we go down and see what Vandy has to say about this anyway.
I think if you want to do that, Gilda is going to walk around the other way and maybe stop at the Stone Ring Pond, because that's where the Shrine to Erastil is that right?
No.
No?
No, the Shrine to Erastil is in the Farmers Guild, which is run by Hala Highstepper, which is over here in the middle of town, pretty much.
Never mind. Gilda will go with you.
As will Kreka.
Okay. So make your way down the staircase, close eyes on you from all the town guard. Not skeptical eyes or suspicious eyes, but always watching. And so you make your way down and towards the entrance of the Dawnflower. You can definitely hear some scuttling about and some hurried feet. And as you step in, Vandy is, sort of directing people. And you can see that a lot of burnt books have been set aside. Some, pretty worse for wear, but, some of them just singed on the edges. And they're sort of in the middle of cataloging, different levels of damage on the books.
So Tulok feels pained by this because he has spent many an hour in the Dawnflower reading, right?
I thought you were going to drop your bookbinding lore. So I got really excited.
That's how he's going to help rebuild the library, is rebind some of these burnt pages.
Yeah, it's a bookbinding montage. Push it to the limit.
He doesn't say a word. He just gets in there, starts rebinding books. Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, all the characters you started out with all spent time in the library, but only Tulok remains of those. And yeah, it must kind of, stomach in your throat a little bit. Oh my God, is it okay?
Yeah, Kreka is also kind of panicked just because he's a bookworm, but with no formal expertise.
Right.
Gilda has also spent quite a bit of time here because it is where the
self-proclaimed.
local shrine to Aurora is.
Yes. Yeah.
And she has done some research here. So,
All
she's
right,
not
you guys. It's not a book measuring
hurt by it.
contest.
Mine's hardcover.
more clarifying their perspective at this point. But she's not hurt by the small fire. She's more concerned that everybody's okay. And the fire was coming from the library?
Yes, it occurred inside, yes.
Was it coming from like the rare book section, like where they'd keep the Necronomica and like?
Not that you can tell. No, not. Yeah, initially you can't tell right away. If there was any particular section targeted, like a particular section of value. I guess
In my head canon, it's going to be the children's section then.
There isn't like like any barriered off like more important sections in this library. It is a proper library without like putting an effort on like precious artifact books of any kind or like dangerous. They don't okay. stock dangerous content. They don't do it. It's not
a learning library.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is dedicated to Sarah and Ray the Dawnflower, but appreciates all other most other faiths, I should say, not all. And it doesn't have like closed doors to delicate content.
Check your records. Who did you sign out the Anarchist Handbook to? Oh, Anarchist Cookbook. Damn it.
Yeah.
Arson for dummies.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Gilda fomenting rebellion a little while ago? Yeah.
Yeah, you're just checking Lady Gilda for... All right. Anywho.
Maybe we should cut
Tulok-
that bit.
What are you saying?
Yeah, whoever ends up editing, make sure you cut Scott's last line.
Just beep it. And then beep this too. All right, anyways. So Tulok walks in and sees Vandy. Potentially. Does he see Vandy?
Oh yeah, she's like directing all the acolytes and whatnot of the library to like get everything under.
Vandy, what's happened here?
Oh, Master Tulok, well, seem to have a little bit of a scamp on our hands. Had a little fire, but we seem to have recovered most of the books here. There's no serious damage done. I can't imagine why this would have happened, but upon first glance, it doesn't appear to be knocked over candle or lantern sort of incident. Looks quite deliberate, but we were lucky enough to catch it right away.
No serious damage. Have you seen the spine on this edition here? Needs lots of glue.
Oh, no. Well...
Quick,
Perhaps
to the
even
book
new
presses,
threading.
woman.
Oh, Tulak, I didn't realize you were so well versed in the lore of binding
Someone,
books.
pass me by press.
You're not wrong. But of course, you know that the precious commodity within books is not the spines and covers which that hold them together, but the information within. And we can always rebind a book, perhaps with your very impressive expertise. You could help.
Vandy, you're being ridiculous.
but,
Everyone knows the front
otherwise,
cover is the most important part of a book.
No, Tulak.
That's how I judge all of my books.
Got it.
Now, Master Tulak, let's not go down this road again. We've had many a dialogue in this regard.
Do you know if there were any type of book that was targeted, or was it just a random place in the stacks?
I mean, as far as our organization has shown, it appears to be quite random. I've not come up with anything, but I mean, of course, I might be learned as they come, but
Sense motive.
I'm not a deducer or
No, I'm just fucking
really
around.
okay. I'm not an investigator of crimes, so to speak. It's not really my genre that I prefer. But Captain Longsaddle and Lieutenant Gerald are within, taking a look around to see if they can discern
Lore
anything.
Dewey Decibel System.
It's just the entire catalog of J.K. Folan.
Thank God.
And pretty much on point, you see Longsaddle and Gerald kind of wander into the main sort of foyer that you've met Vandy in, and Longsaddle's got his typical curmudgeonly look and knuckling his long mustaches, and Gerald, kind of back straight but still managing to look meek and mild. And they walk up and to Vandy, of course, spotting you and taking a brief moment to just kind of resign, or at least Longsaddle resigning himself to deliver the news to all of you. And he says,
Well, Vandy, it appears this here arson was nothing more than a distraction. Something else is missing here. Something rather delicate, so to speak.
and she gives him a questioning look.
The old Volrajani blade. You had that here on the wall, down yonder, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, well, it's gone. Glass smashed, ripped from its holdings. That fire was meant to make you look that way. Well, someone else went this way.
Oh,
And that's
that
what we're
Rajani son of a bitch. James, it's all your fault.
Okay.
He didn't start the fire.
Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.